At Lex's parents' house, they have like this $1,000 friggin' ridiculous. I don't know if it's $1,000, but it's a ridiculous coffee machine that is the best coffee ever. And I'm probably gonna break the machine. I use it so much. It's really an issue.
Why is it so? What makes it so special?
Well, I don't know. I think you put like whole beans in the top, and then it grinds it up and like does a whole thing. You can make a million different things. If you want espresso, it'll make espresso. If you want a cappuccino, it'll make a cappuccino. It has one of the milk frother things.
On the
Dude,
side.
it's a whole thing.
Dope.
It's really, really cool.
Dude, coffee is it's just so normal. Honestly,
It is. It's 2 ingredients.
Yeah, and everybody like it's normal to have like an exquisite coffee maker and just be down and get like coffee like that. And I love getting espresso. You ever have like a triple pressed espresso and and it comes out like creamy?
We went. Oh yeah, it's like thick.
Yeah.
It's what is it? I can't remember the name of the restaurant in Burlington, but we went after Lex's graduation, and the espresso that they had there was ridiculous.
I bet they get down on some coffee in Vermont.
It's so big. There's like the best coffee you've ever had on every corner.
Yeah.
They got that dialed in. That and craft beer, like they got it dialed in.
Shocker.
Yeah, really.
No, where I had a really good espresso was Funkin' Waffles in Syracuse.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So were you playing over there?
Yep. And I was
at Funkin' Waffles, or so across the street is where I saw Chris Kane.
That's dope.
Where is I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, that was. I don't know if I've ever told that story on the podcast.
No, I don't think so.
So Chris Kane is a unbelievable blues guitar player. Like he's seriously in the blues community, like the best kept secret, to be honest with you. Like he's unbelievable. And my dad grew up in California listening to this guy. So like in person, obviously. And any chance that he would get, he would go out and see him. And he used to always play Chris Kane music for me. And I'm like, who is this guy? He's unbelievable. And he would tell me, different stories about, hanging out with him. So I was listening to him on Pandora. And I just got in my head, I'm like, so this guy's alive. I wonder if he's still touring. He's got to be still touring or doing something. So I looked it up. He was going to be in Syracuse in like a month. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I booked it. I didn't tell my dad where we were going. And we get like not even halfway down to 81, like maybe 5 minutes on the road. And he's like, so where are we going? I'm like, Syracuse. And he starts flipping shit. He's like, I got to work in the morning. This is the whole fucking thing. I'm like, Dad, just shut up.
What are we doing going to Syracuse? What time is it?
It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. So we get to this small little venue, like probably about the same size as Funkin' Waffles.
I don't even know what spot like you're talking about.
Exactly. It's a very, very small, essentially a bar and then like a little stage area. But we get in there and I see Chris Kane Sunday, but I've like been seeing Google images of like what he looks like now. And I've been watching YouTube videos and stuff. My dad hasn't been doing that. He just remembers him from back in, I don't know, the late 70s, early 80s. Jeez. And we go in there. I see him. I recognize him. And I'm like, you recognize the guy over there? And he's like, no. And I'm like, just look at him for a little bit. And I'm like, I'm going to go grab a drink. And I go grab a drink. And then he comes over. He's like, is that fucking Chris Kane? And I'm like, yeah, it is, dummy. And he's like, get out of here. This is crazy. And he like completely flipped the switch.
Nice.
So
Put
it was
him in a good mood.
Oh, it was one of the coolest things that we were able to do together. And then
it's the power of music.
I know. And this guy's in his 70s, just fucking tore it up.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, you play. Even if you were big, like at a certain point, and you can still do it, they're still doing it. Like they're all over the place. All of these musicians that come from all of these different decades that aren't like the Rolling Stones and all of these other big bands that can still tour as a band and like sell out crazy
at like 90 years old.
Yeah, it's crazy. They could like fill up these theaters. AC/DC, right?
Dude,
they did like a tour a couple years ago.
Did you see AC/DC?
No.
I got to see them when they came out with the Black Ice album. What
year was that?
I think I was in 7th grade.
So he could still move pretty quick there. Who was that? Angus Young?
Angus. Oh, he was still killing. What's he look like these days?
it's just sad, you know.
Yeah.
He's just, everybody's getting old. We're getting old, man.
but-
Hopefully we get that old.
But let's be honest. Let's think about it. This is Angus Young, one of the. I don't know another guitar
Polarizing.
player who moves like this guy
Yeah,
in general.
yeah.
And for him, when I was in 7th grade, for him to be moving the way that he was moving, incredible.
Yeah, he was still crushing it.
So he's
at an
got to
old
be
age.
what mid to late 70s. Like
Yeah,
he's
gotta be in that.
or at least early 70s. But
70s,
you should
between the
not
70s and
you
80s.
should not be able to move
Nah, you can't
in
move
any
like
way
that.
like that. You should be up there in a fucking chair and just sitting still playing guitar. That is about it.
Yeah, when I saw Van Halen in 2015, David Lee Roth was probably like 65 or something like that at least, and he was grooving pretty hard.
Oh, yeah.
Like obviously he wasn't doing like cartwheels and flips and,
Yeah.
and splits, but he was still like dancing really hard.
He was climbing up on shit and stuff.
Oh yeah, he was
when I saw him.
the first time he played when they like got back together and he played on Jimmy Kimmel. He broke his nose.
Whoa.
He was spinning the microphone stand around and freaking whacked his nose.
Shit.
Maniac.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
I still love his bluegrass stuff that you showed me.
I love that. Yeah.
How David Lee Roth just to think, yeah, I'm gonna do bluegrass stuff now.
Yeah.
And just think that he can do it and then just do it and do
Does
it
it.
so good.
Yeah. Something about him. I talk about this because I love Van Halen so much. And David Lee Roth, he's not really a great singer, but he's just a great entertainer. He's an entertainer.
Yeah, he's a great
He's a
entertainer. He
performer.
has the energy in his voice. So
He's got that awesome stage presence. I always talk about having good stage presence and being confident. Yo, he's all that. you
well,
know?
and there's another aspect to it. Actually, I heard on Rogan's podcast. Who's that guy who was like super polarizing for a bit? He basically was up there with a resonator guitar talking about how shitty politicians are. It was a viral video. God damn it! What the hell is his name? Something Anthony. I don't know. Anyways, Rogan was like asking him, kind of poking into like what his experience is in terms of like vocals, and he's like, I don't really have any training or anything like that, and he's like, I'm not really a great singer, but it's just he has this passion inside of his voice, and I feel like I don't know what Janis Joplin's background is, but they correlated those two. Janis just sang her heart out.
Oh, absolutely.
Like just screaming, and it's like it didn't matter if she had any music theory knowledge or anything like that. It's like she could just perform the hell out of her voice and sang it with heart.
Yeah.
That was the difference. It's really good, and you can tell. You can tell if someone's like not singing from the heart, but they're musically trained, so it sounds right, and it's just all very, I don't know, like a computer.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen bands like that even. Like it's just so tight.
It's too tight.
Yeah, it's like
too tight.
It's good, but
Yeah.
it's like, I'm missing something. I'm missing that feel, you know?
It's hard because you feel like such a fucking hater.
Yeah.
Like when you're watching
Yeah.
something like that, you're like, they're like robots, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like there's a kind of a bit of truth to that, where
Yeah.
it's like you don't want to see something that's so rehearsed that it doesn't look like they're having fun.
Yeah, I saw a band at Grassroots that like they were like a headliner group, huge crowd for them on the infield, and they were grooving and having a good time. They've been on NPR Tiny Desk before.
Who's this?
The Mavericks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But just like something about it, like I wanted to feel it and like really like groove to it, but it was just so tight. I don't know what it was, and they had this really cool accordion player. This guy was slick. I've
Better than me?
Dude, this guy was slick. I've got to show you a picture of him. Dude, this dude is slick. He was like, in the back just doing his thing, but he came up for like a quick take, and he does it. And when he goes back, he's kind of like, pew. I was like, oh, this
Finger
dude
guns?
knows. Yeah, I was like,
That's
this guy
hilarious.
knows. Yeah,
Oh, I love that. The confidence.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's get on to the subject of this.
Of today,
Yeah,
what
of
are we
today.
what we're talking about today. This is going to be the last podcast in this studio.
Yeah. Big day. Sad day.
It's a
Happy
sad
day.
Yeah, it's emotional. It's like, it's exciting to see everything that we've been able to do in not even a year. All the people that have been up here and the performances. But yeah, it's
I was thinking as I was sitting here and I'm looking at around this looks great, but around us is just empty walls and shit. And it is
Hey,
exactly.
Don't forget about my barbell over there.
And the barbell, of course, because Moses is still jacked. But the thing is, you know, I remember coming up here and, you know, we were with like Troy and we just needed a place to jam. So we just like came up here and Troy's like, you should definitely have this place be like a hangout spot,
Yeah,
kind
you
of
should do
like, and
more.
do more with this space. And
Videos.
we didn't, it's not like we set out to do anything. We didn't really have like, we knew we wanted to do a podcast. We knew that we wanted to just sit and shoot the shit, and it would make like, it would just make us happy because we were doing it for fun, sort of
more
deal.
for fun, not making it about any pressure or anything.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it started. And then as we started, you know, jamming a little bit more, and we like recorded a couple things that were just like very, I don't know, like a 1 minute video or something like that.
Yeah.
And then just started to workshop more and more ideas, and it just evolved into a very, very, very cool project that the music community in Broome County and outside has just completely with open arms welcomed.
Yeah,
I think that's such a
feels
beautiful thing.
Yeah, I feel like there's people, excuse me, a lot of people that have been able to check it out and see what we're doing, which is makes me feel good. Especially when they're able to see something they've never seen before. That's been like the, you know, the I guess you could say mission, or if there is a plan. I think for the longest time, you and I have been playing together for over 10 years, and for the longest time we've never played in a band together and always wanted to, but we don't do certain things to be able to like do the way that we want to do it. And so we tried to like put something together, just like a fun little project, maybe book a show here and there. But it's so difficult.
It is, and
Yeah.
when you're in 14 other
When you're in other
projects
bands
and
other
you know
other
you're working a
jobs
9 to
and
5 and all that, it's like this was a no pressure kind of come up. Let's just have some fun sort of deal.
Chris
And
James always refers to it as hanging with the homies.
hanging with the homies.
We're just hanging with the homies,
and that's
man.
that's what it was. It's like it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like a job. Whereas it's like being in a band sometimes feels like it's not. Sometimes feels like you do have a job.
Yeah.
You do have a job. It's like other people are really, really, really relying on you. Not to say that isn't the case in this scenario, but it's like there's no like fuck, I got to do this. I got to do that.
Yeah.
I don't really get that feeling that much. I'm usually bummed out when I can't do something because of
sure.
other commitments.
For sure.
But
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Like, it would be fun to one day do this. This just doing the hang and just making it efficient.
yeah,
Like today, I mean, we just get right up here, we're ready to go, and we only spend a couple hours. And if we did it like that, it would be something that would be like, maybe we could do this every week. You know, but that right there requires a certain setup and certain equipment. You know what I mean?
and not to mention, we have a nothing right now.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing set up at your place or anything.
Oh, no,
so
yeah,
tell
this is
me,
gonna be
I
bare
haven't even
bones.
seen the place. So tell
Yeah.
me a bit about what the new place is like.
The new place is sick. It definitely is not going to have that. This has like that grungy feel to it, I guess you
So
could call
cool,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love
It
it.
doesn't have that feel to it. It's like really clean and bright and like finished, drywall. It might look a little like, I don't, you ever see some some podcasts and they look like super nice. There's like super clean. I feel like it's gonna look like that, but
It's just sterile. It's like
Yeah, that's
it's like a
just-
laboratory.
right. I mean, like that's what the situation is now, and it's sick. I mean, I haven't put up my kit or anything yet, but like I just laid out the rugs, like all the rugs, and that already looks cool. And I in my mind, and I don't know if this is actually going to happen, but I guess it's fun to talk about this. In my mind, what I can visualize is incorporating the podcast and the studio a little bit more. so that like the podcast studio is within the studio to play with.
Well, think about how they do it with NPR. That's exactly how they do it with NPR. Everyone just moves forward, and then they'll sit and talk and do like a little quick interview. Or whatever.
Right. Yeah. I think it's gonna be something like that where it's kind of like built into it, and that also has to do with the space that I have. But the space is cool, but it's not this big open attic like we've been shooting in, which has been really cool. But we're gonna have temperature control.
Thank God.
You know,
everyone who's played here in the winters. So just listen to that.
The summer,
or in the summer. Just anyone who's ever played here. Period. It doesn't matter at any time. It has been definitely a challenge. When it comes to that, it's like I've. We were like trying to come up with ideas in terms of fingerless gloves so I could still play guitar and not freeze my actual ass off. It was really, really cold some days.
It was cold. I mean, the first video, Flowers, that cover, that was cold.
Yeah.
I remember Carmela hit me up and she was like, should I wear a dress? And I was like, no. I was like, you gotta dress warm. I was like, you wear something cool, but like it's gotta be warm.
You got a ski jacket? What do you? How about something a little more like that?
Yeah. For some reason, I think Back to Black was even colder.
Oh,
I remember
that
just
was
being
freezing.
Really cold.
That was a lot of fun though.
That was a fun day. Yeah.
I still to this day remember, just the way in which everything seemed so easy to conduct with that. Do you know what I mean?
It was 2 takes.
Yeah, it was like, so quick.
It was so quick.
It was so quick. I didn't even know and it was such a good song. Like, I loved that song, but I loved that song like 24 hours before
that's what you got to do in these situations, yeah.
But I just listened to it over and over and over again. I'm like, wow, this is really, really great. Yeah. So where, like, I was stressing before I really started listening to it because I didn't know until like 24 hours before I was supposed to play it. I thought that I was sitting out because we had I don't know.
Chris was coming in.
Yeah, I didn't know exactly. It was again our second video too, so it's like I didn't know what the situation was going to be. But I just listened to it. I'm like, this is really, really cool. And then we were just able to come together and really come up with something awesome. And that's still one of the
it's the most viewed.
I think that's the most viewed video. It's one of my favorite little solo things too that I had as well. It was nice. It was super simple. It was just really, really good. Really good.
I had a lot of fun with that song. Yeah, I didn't play it a lot, but I listened to it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I rely a lot on feel when it comes to covers, especially when I want to have, in my mind, I want it to be groovy. Like when we're doing these covers, like that's the intention. We don't want it to be
just tweak it,
get it a little groovier. Yeah,
and you have the power to do that as well. You can kind of conduct.
Yeah, I try to do that
based upon like the beat. You could change the whole feel. Same thing. It's like drums and bass can do that.
Yeah.
Change
Lomo.
The whole dynamic of the song.
Lomo was like the conductor for that.
Lomo.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was exactly what I was thinking as well. He was just very, very tight, very tight. It was a fist bump, really, is what it was.
Oh, the fist bump is key.
In between, a Lomo fist bump will give you superpowers.
Oh yeah, we've had shows where like after the first set, we're like, oh, what happened? Like, why are we feeling like a little off? And I was like, dude, Lomo didn't give us a fist bump.
That's the fucking problem.
Let's get a fist bump for a second.
Get it together, Lomo.
Yeah, for the second set.
You gotta know.
We're gonna go, man. have a good gig, man. Have a good. Yeah,
but
love that. Love Lomo. We gotta get Lomo. We gotta get a hang with Lomo.
Yeah.
This year, just because of just love Lomo. He's like one of my best buds. He's he had an awesome podcast at one time. Yeah, that was great and kind of like really a big inspiration for wanting to do this.
Yeah, huge.
We had his chair for a little bit on this. That's it right over there.
Yeah, it's over there.
We had it right over here originally for the couch.
This was such a good grab.
The couch was a good grab, yeah. The couch is sick. Yeah. Where else are you going to find a couch like that?
I saw it. I'm like, there's no way that doesn't belong up in the attic.
Yeah, I mean, and that was something I thought that would be kind of fun to dive into a little bit. Would be like talking a little bit about like some of this stuff here that has like kind of been acquired and like the stories behind it because everybody sees like this background.
I don't know if the camera can see it. We got this amplifier here that Nick had given to us just before he had left.
Yeah, this was given. Yeah, Nick.
Good luck. Yeah, I was
like
going to say good luck with his last name.
I like to say, but otherwise known as King Cassette, gave us this amp and was like, because he was moving, and he was like, "Yeah, I got this amp. You guys want it?"
So that'll be with us forever.
Yeah, this right here, I just wanted to throw it here. This is this is a terrible throne because I just wanted something really small that I can pack up and just like throw into a backpack. But sitting on it, it's just not. It's just bad. So that just goes there, man. We don't use that anymore. Yeah. Speaking of Lomo, at the beginning of the 2020 pandemic, Lomo gave me this guitar, and I just asked. I was talking about how I wanted to like work on playing some guitar more, and he gave it to me, and I barely ever play it, but it's nice to have.
We gotta figure out a proper guitar. Like genuinely though, like playing guitar for you is going to be difficult. Like your hand is massive.
Hands, yeah,
it's massive.
So I'm thinking like a what is it? Classical guitar.
They have pretty wide frets.
Yeah. With the
that
neon,
might be the move.
Or the nylon, nylon strings.
That might be the move.
I get some neon nylon.
That'd be cool.
What about this amp? This is yours. A lot of this stuff is also yours. Or from you.
That amp. My freaking Sweet Western guns.
Dude, those you can't just go and say those Sweet Western guns. Those guns have a story.
What's the story behind those?
We
thrifted them.
We thrifted them, man.
We were looking for things to put up here.
Yeah, we were looking for things, and we thrifted the whole store. And like the last thing you found, like, oh, I'm gonna buy these guns.
Hell
dude.
yeah. How are you going to pass those up? You see those guns and you don't buy them, you got a problem.
Yeah, and we bought those guns together, dude. These I bought on Marketplace.
Those are solid.
Yeah, the lights don't really work. Well, the lights work.
Well, there is no light bulb, so they don't work.
But when the light bulb was in there, it just didn't work with like the camera and the other lighting. It just like didn't work.
But they look good.
But they look cool. Yeah,
they look good.
I'm gonna leave them up there.
The wall.
I don't know. Yeah, the wall.
The wall. I remember when
constructed.
Yeah, when you started building that, we were trying to figure out a memorable backdrop. So if you would see, the thumbnail, you would immediately see like the backdrop, and then it's just
kind of
visual recognition. Like any podcast, really. Like you see the background, and you're like, oh yeah, this is a podcast that I've seen before.
Yes.
But we just wanted something cool that kind of kept the same vibe as the attic. And then Moses starts sending me pictures of him building this thing, and he's like, dude, I found all these 2x4s that are like 200 years old. Like they're real 2x4s. Like they are
rough cut.
Yeah,
2x4s.
Old school, so they're probably 100 years old.
Yeah.
But I'm like, wow, that looks incredible. And then he starts making all these shelves, and I'm like, this fucking guy.
Yeah. I've had this old crate for so long, dude. And to think that I was like, let me just freaking construct that into there. Little record player Jamie gave me for Christmas a couple years ago. Yeah.
Record player. We got the board. The board, which Randy McStein, if you are watching this, we need your signature on this board. We almost got into our car to do a high-speed chase because we forgot to ask you to sign the board.
Brian Wolf, too. He didn't sign
Brian, we'll send it down to Austin. We're gonna ship this to you. We're gonna ship the board to you.
Dude, look at this. We painted this board together.
We did.
Actually, you painted it mostly.
I got some awesome painting skills.
Yeah. Whose names do we got?
We got Winnie, Kapani, Michaela.
Really see it.
Devin, tearing it up on the keys. I can't read that signature, but that is the best signature I've ever seen.
I think that's Ken Foster.
Oh, Ken.
Yeah, I think that's Ken Foster.
Oh, front and main.
And I think that's Chris James.
Who's that over there?
Bess Greenberg.
Who's that by your hand? Thumb there.
Oh, that's Jacob Kurtz, bass from Front and Main. Bess Greenberg, if you don't know, she did the video for. It was the Sandra Esparza cover.
Oh, yeah.
I Will Survive.
Yeah.
Best hit the video on that. Well, I want to get her up here to perform though. That's the big thing. This is a call out to you, Bess. You need to come up here and you need to come up here and do a song. Maybe we'll do White Rabbit.
Oh, wow. But Bess plays music? I thought she was just a videographer. I didn't know that.
She's a baller, actually. I'll put that over there. I don't know if that's still visible. But yeah, that's been the fun thing. There's also people that have signed this that have just jammed. I mean, Jeff Bagg signed it. He just jammed. That was awesome when he came up here and jammed with us. A lot of people come up here. A lot of people. So yeah, just want to just keep it rolling like that in this year, and want to have more hangs, but at the same time, I still like having this as a platform to talk to musicians and interview musicians is really fun.
Yeah.
So I think it would be nice to to do at least an interview a month.
Mm-hmm.
Would be a nice way to ease into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's a realistic goal as well. It's like you have a new property, so it's you're gonna I'm sure run into issues that you didn't see at first that you gotta fix on the property. Yeah, build out. You have just lots of stuff.
So much.
2 kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
but my
lots
wife
of stuff.
is so awesome that
That's
but
true.
Still,
I have a puppy now, so basically I know what it's like. Don't let Jamie hear that. But no, I think that there's gonna be some cool stuff. Oh, what color? What color is the?
Is the basement?
Yeah,
it's like a tan.
Okay,
like it is downstairs, like a beige.
Okay,
I guess you would call that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty neutral down there. But there's also another idea I have where I might do the podcast in the garage. Because the garage is pretty cool, and it can still kind of have that grungy look so there would be a separate. The studio would be in the basement where you would see performances, but the studio, the attic. I'm sorry, the garage would host the podcast. But I like doing performances in the podcast space.
Yeah, and like we were saying about the wall, it keeps everything.
Yeah, it keeps it
recognizable.
Consistent. Yeah. I really like having people perform in this space just because of how it looks here.
Yeah, it looks so nice.
And adding stuff to it. I like the idea of adding things to it. It's funny, Capani gave you that shirt.
Oh yeah,
and I just like it there because it's just like a memory of Capani.
Yeah.
Just always
just a little token.
Yeah, a little token. They don't even. Just if they've never seen it there before,
I don't know if
they know.
To be honest with you, I don't know if they technically gave it to us.
Yeah, I don't know. We've had it for a long time though.
We have. They haven't asked for it back. In my defense,
is there some sort of rights that we have to keep it after it's been here for so long?
I think it's 5 years, but.
So isn't it 90
Maybe we'll cut this part out and then just wait 5 years and just be like, this is technically ours.
Yeah. Oops. With the cat out of the bag. Yeah. Did you have any other questions for me? You said you wanted to ask me a couple things.
Yeah, I mean that was basically what is this? What's the setup going to look like? What's the deal? I mean. Do you have a specific timeline you're thinking?
So this would probably be released at the end of this month.
So where are we talking? Yeah, so
I can
end of January.
Yeah, I can see a podcast coming out at the end of February in the new space.
Mm-hmm.
That would definitely that's a super realistic time frame.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously shooting it, because that's the thing too. We like to take our time, as far as getting things ready, especially because we're getting help.
Yeah.
We don't want to have a pressure of we need to get it done in 2-3 days.
Yeah.
We need a 2-3 day turnaround. It's not like that. So it's nice to space them out a little bit.
Yeah, not good for the YouTube algorithm, but for life. Kind of makes a little bit more sense.
Right.
Yeah,
in a perfect world, it would be nice to have something going out every week, but it's tough. And the nice thing is we have some stuff in the library.
Mm-hmm.
that just needs to be worked on.
So they don't have to spend the whole day up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, if we could do this, like, in and out, couple hours, especially if you have a whole band together, it's like they've already been practicing the songs. They know the songs. They don't have to worry about it. Bam, bam.
Want it to be plug and play.
Yeah.
Everything's set up. We, maybe that would require like a phone call, like a group call.
Mm-hmm.
You go, all right, what are your ideas? Let's hear. This is what the space kind of looks like. What would you like to do? Where would you like to work in? And then, because it's easy for me throughout the week to just kind of set pieces up here and there, and then boom, we're ready to go and ready to start rolling. That way, everything's ready to go. Everybody just needs to get in place and click record.
And the other, which I can't remember if we were talking about it before we started. The concept behind having one place be both the podcast and the recording is everything is dialed in, ready to go. So
Yes.
like there's been many times that we've come up here, spent a lot of time, and a microphone was out of place. So something wasn't set right to where we want to be able to put out something that we're proud of, and we don't want to put out anything that is going to make an artist like sound bad, and it could just be simply we didn't have things set up correctly. But that's also because during this, it's like a lot of it was, okay, we got to move this over here, we got to move this over here. Everything was moving around, and it's a lot of lots of moving pieces. But when you have one thing set, a studio, it's right there, ready to go. It's super efficient, and you can make quality content with efficiency.
Yeah, if anything, it would just be like, okay, we're just gonna take these chords out of the interface and then replace it with these ones.
Yes, and then tweak the level.
Yeah, and just adjust the levels and have an idea of like, all right, this is where we need the levels for the podcast, and this is where we need the levels for all of those instruments.
And we'll know where the amps need to be set so it doesn't bleed through onto the other mics. Like,
right, and that's a big thing I plan on doing is getting some help with getting everything dialed in the studio, getting in there, getting some help with somebody. I don't know who, but I know I have ideas in my head of who. I don't want to call them out though, but get somebody in there that is gonna wouldn't mind helping me out and just getting everything set, getting the mic set in the right place, and then just never moving them. That's where they're going to be. The drummers that have played here have been great about just like playing the kit and not changing anything out, so that makes it easy and makes it consistent. And then that way we just have in Logic it ready to go. You know what I mean? Every time we it's literally just bringing up the project and changing the title and pressing record, and that's where I want it to be, because a lot of time gets spent on that part of it, and that just comes to my lack of mixing and recording engineering skills. Something that this year I plan to get better at doing. But no, it's been great, man. Life's been good. Moving out, this is kind of the last of what I need to move out is this studio.
It's like I came up here, I'm like, oof, I don't like this. It's just like I don't know. We'll maybe have to get some shots of what it looks like.
We'll take some shots of it.
Do some B-roll, but it is like depressing a little bit, but also really exciting. Like I'm excited to see what the next
exciting new chapter
is going to be. But yeah, it's been a pleasure for sure. So thank you everyone who's supported us.
Seriously, anybody that supported us, especially like I get it, not everybody wants to just watch people have a conversation or listen to people have a conversation. I totally understand that. So I appreciate people that do check it out and stick around and listen to the entirety of it. It's always funny when somebody comes up to me and tells me something that we were talking about, and that always is a feel good kind of moment. So appreciate the support, and for those that enjoy the content, hopefully we can get more to you and keep it going, and just kind of go from there. And again, we always say, reach out to us, hit us up in the DMs. If you want to be on the podcast, seriously, it's the DMs are open. The DMs are open. It makes it easier too if somebody just reaches out to us and says, hey, I'm available these days, and we can kind of go, hey, are we available these days? But just want to get better about that going forward, and have some fun this year. See what happens. Dude. So I'm out of coffee. You're probably out of coffee. We got to get a refill. So probably wrap it up. It's a good signal to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But seriously, thank you everybody for watching. Hope everybody is having a good new year so far.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't already ruined your resolutions, I don't do.
Day 10.
I didn't do any resolutions, so I'm just sending it. It's just January 1st was just the
Well, when you're perfect, really.
right. What can I resolve?
What really do you have to do?
Well, I finished 75 hard December 15th.
Yeah, before we go, tell us how that was.
75 hard.
Is it
75 hard. So all right. So all right. Let me talk about 75 hard because I have wanted to talk about this. If you don't know what 75 hard is, it is a mental and physical discipline program. I don't like to refer to it as a challenge. And in this program, you have to just follow, I think, like 5 or 6 steps every single day. And if you miss any of those steps, you have to start all over again.
Mm.
So what those are is you have to drink an entire gallon of water a day. That's really easy for me. You have to stick to a diet, and you have no cheat days or cheat meals. You just have to stick to your diet. So my diet was I didn't eat any sugar or any processed food. I didn't eat any fast food. I didn't eat any fried food. No alcohol. You have to take a progress picture every single day. 10 pages of a nonfiction self-development book. And 2 exercises of at least 45 minutes. One has to be outside.
Mm.
Yeah. So what that looked like was usually the gym in the morning. And then I would go for a walk at the rail trail for 45 minutes or a jog or a run. And if I was taking a day off from the gym, I would just do like 45 minutes of yoga, like a more restful day. But it was tough, especially at the end when there was like a week left. I would wake up, and I already generally wake up early, but I would wake up at like 2 a.m. and be like, did I drink all my water? Like, did I take my picture?
Yeah, this sounds horrible.
I
thought this was supposed to benefit you. This is just giving you anxiety.
It gave a little. Yeah, there was a little bit of anxiety, but it was fun. I miss going on those walks every day. I haven't gone out to the rail trail since. I miss going on those walks. There were days where it was cold, and there were days where it was raining. And it was like whatever. And it gave me a lot of perspective because it's so easy to just get in the car or get the car warmed up, put the heat on, put the AC on, and just go. Where not everybody has a car, even in this area, and they have to think about that every single day. Like, what am I going to wear? Do I need a scarf this day? Do I need to wear thermals this day?
I can't tell you the last time I checked the weather app.
Right.
I don't care. It's like I got to go to work, so it doesn't matter. But that's also the same exact thing for those people.
Right, you're in your temperature-controlled house, to your temperature-controlled car, to your temperature-controlled
am I going to be cold for 30 seconds?
Right.
That's why I literally didn't even wear a jacket over here.
Yeah.
It's the crazy windy day, but I knew I was going to be in my car in 2 seconds.
Right.
But you're right. It's like I still have to go to work, but those people also have to go to work.
Yeah.
So they're just walking though. So they're going to have to think about, what am I going to wear today? What is it going on? Do I need an umbrella? Is this going to suck? Whatever.
Right.
Doesn't matter. They deal with it.
Yeah, there was this one day I was walking, and there was a dude pushing a TV in a shopping cart, because the end of the rail trail, you're at Walmart, and the other end is essentially Endicott. And this person was pushing a shopping cart with the TV in it, and I was like, oh, they're probably going to throw the TV in their car and dump the cart. So we do our walk, we come back, and we're driving home over that bridge that's Vestal to Endicott, and that dude's pushing the cart still. I'm like, that dude's taking that cart home. He's taking that TV home. He went and bought the TV, and he's walking it home.
That's wild.
That's and there's a lot of planning with that. What if it rained? Your TV's screwed.
Yeah.
That cardboard box isn't going to hold up. So there's a lot of that gave me perspective. I didn't really have this goal of losing weight. I just wanted to stay in shape. And in the process of going to the gym and lifting weights, I did find interest in like wanting to bulk and put weight on. So I started bulking during 75 hard, like in November, and bulking. I was eating like at least 5,000 calories a day, like 5,000 to 6,000 calories, but it couldn't be. It's hard to bulk sometimes when it's all. You can't eat any junk food.
Yeah, it's a, it's a diet.
Right.
It's still just it's a lot more, and it's
right. Like if I was bulking and I could do a dirty bulk and eat like cake, I could hit my calories so quickly.
Yeah.
But when you're just eating meat, rice, and like veggies,
it's difficult. Like
tough.
I'm not super. I always joke around with like people who are super skinny, like, oh, I can't gain weight. Me, I'm not like that. If I eat shitty for a month, it's like I completely. You can see it on me. You can see it in my face.
Same.
Like my metabolism doesn't work like that, and other people are like the opposite, where it's like they can't eat enough and they're just rail thin.
Yeah.
And they want to get bigger. It's just as hard to eat clean, like a lot of calories.
It's a lot of calories
Because you don't want to get fat. You don't want to just
right.
put
I
on,
didn't want to put on fat.
And on top of that, it's like you eat 5,000 calories of cake, you're going to feel like dog shit.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to feel horrible.
Yeah, so it was like just a lot of just high protein, high carb, low fat. Like I was probably like, and I'm still eating a pretty good amount, but I'm just trying to maintaining versus putting more weight on because I'm about 210 right now. When I started bulking, I was like 185.
Damn, you're 210 right now?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I've got big.
Whoa, but like I know what you look like at like 240.
You saw when I was like,
it was not. It was not of this. It was not of this 200 plus at all. Like that is wild.
So this is day 1 versus day 2, day 1 versus day 75 hard. First picture, I'm probably about 185, maybe less, maybe like 182. The second picture, I'm like 212.
Damn. 75 days?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Excuse my language, but Jesus, that is wild.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, bulking up.
Wow.
Bulking and just like pulling weight, as much as I can in the gym.
How much protein?
Like 300 grams.
Holy shit. That's so much. Like no, like I used
tracking it.
Well, I used to track my macro. Like when I was losing 70, like I lost that 72 pounds. I used to track everything, so I used to try to like figure out exactly where I wanted my macros. It is hard to get over 200.
Yeah. Some days about like close to 300.
Smokes.
Like I would do like for breakfast, and this is every day. Breakfast was usually 3 whole eggs, 3 egg whites, like 100 grams of like chicken or steak, whatever I've got. Then I would wrap that up in a tortilla, and those would always have like maybe 6 grams of protein in them. So I would do 3 tortillas, and then 100 grams of oatmeal, which was a solid amount of protein. And to that, I would just do like raisins. That doesn't really have much protein. And then, but lunch, chicken and rice, dinner, chicken and rice, and that's about it. And then 2 shakes, 30 grams of protein each.
Yep.
So in the morning before the gym, I would do a shake, and then at nighttime I would do a shake with like some fruit.
Do you have you ever done the protein powder in the oatmeal?
Yeah,
that's the move.
Yeah,
that's
like
so good.
Meal.
I can't. Like it's hard for me to like make oatmeal taste good, but protein powder in there.
Oh, you do like that vanilla creme brulee in there? Ooh. That's so good.
But yeah, no, I really really need to get back to the gym. So
Dude,
Lex is here now. Lex is here now.
Do a gym date.
So it means that I'm not going to be going out to Albany or Saratoga every other weekend or every weekend. Like it was for a while there, it was just back to back to back. Like a whole month I was in Albany every single weekend. It was ridiculous. But you're worth it. Now that she's here too, she's very, very into fitness as well. So we're like trying to figure out what gym we want to go to. She's not a huge fan of AFF.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I love Brian.
Tell me why. Tell me what her reason.
Shit. Brian. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
Because I want to say my reasons too.
I can get my workout done at AFF. I think there's too much There's too much.
Too much stuff.
I think it's my
I need more
ADHD. So when there's too much stuff that I'm not going to use.
That's true.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Like I think that there's a
like
lot of
100 treadmills in there.
well, yeah, that's a good point. A lot of bikes, a lot of ellipticals, things
yeah.
not really on Liam's to-do list. But
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of stuff that I'm just not going to use there, so it kind of limits me to doing the same exercises over and over and over again, and it just gets boring.
I can see some women not liking that gym, and here's why. Because if you've been to AFF, it's not, and you would know that there's a women's only part. Even if you've driven by it on 434, you know that there's just a women's only part. And from what I've heard is that there's not as much available there.
Oh, on the women's section?
On the women's section. As far as like free weights go and like, squat rack and bench press.
Which get with the times.
Yeah.
Like that, seriously, that is all women. Like if you, honestly, these days, if you had 5 squat racks there and nothing else, that's where they want to be now.
Smith machines,
Mm-hmm. I mean, the fitness industry has changed substantially.
Sure.
I mean, it's not just treadmills and ellipticals anymore.
So yeah, from what I understand is it's more like machine kind of based stuff. Like they probably have like a leg press or like a leg extension and a hamstring curl, stuff like that. But nothing that's like free weight. So when you are a woman going into the co-ed part where you can do the lifting, it's all dudes in there.
Yeah.
Like it is all like I go in the morning, it is all dudes. Like there's probably like 40 dudes in the gym, and maybe one woman.
Yeah.
And like, typically it's like somebody's spouse.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it and like that can be uncomfortable, and I think that kind of makes it difficult.
However,
as a woman.
It's like
Brian, they just made the women's section better.
Yes, I 1,000% agree with that. But just the fact that Brian has thought to make a women's only section. What other gym has a women's only section? Period.
And did that like 30 years ago? Like
yeah, forever ago.
It's always been like that.
So it's like he was ahead of the time back then. So he just needs to adapt a little bit.
Super accommodating. Yeah, the equipment in there is old, but I like that old school equipment. Like especially like some of the machines.
Arnold used this.
Seriously, dude. I was just gonna say like pumping iron. You like I saw this shoulder press machine pumping iron.
Like the old leather ones that they have, like the air machines.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Air machines are lit, dude.
Yeah.
I've actually never used one of the air machines, but one of these days I'll check them out. But yeah, I could easily spend 2 hours at the gym. But I'm getting better about just like, hitting weights for like 45 minutes. And I've been trying to run more these last couple days. So it's usually like 45 minutes to an hour of lifting, maybe like 15 minutes of cardio, and then 20 minutes in the sauna. And then get out of there. Get the heck out of there. Yeah, we got to go together sometime though. Like, especially like I'll tell you what, Sundays. I'll say this goes out to anybody because I could bring a buddy any day. So Sundays are kind of like a kind of screw it day for me. Like I don't really have a plan on Sundays. I just kind of go in and do whatever. If anybody wants to come to the gym with me, hit me up anytime you want on a Sunday. Just come with me and we'll hit a set together, and it'll be fun.
Our Friends is expanding to the gym.
Yeah, we're expanding the gym. Well, there is a gym in Our Friends studio.
There is.
Everybody, like anybody that's been up here knows that there's a small little weight training, or not. It wasn't as much weight training before, but like there was like punching bag and like the mat. Like, dude, we're all about fitness. We've talked about health and fitness like quite a bit on this.
Actually,
on this podcast.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
So yeah, anybody that wants to, anybody trying to do it and for their New Year's resolution, and you don't know what to do, hit me up. We'll get you in there, and we'll just hang.
No cheat day, no Sunday cheat day. Get your ass to the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
Get it done.
Sunday, no rest days. Still get in there.
I'm talking so much shit. I haven't been to the gym.
You too, man. And that's a main invitation to you. Sunday. I know Sundays. We usually hang on Sunday.
I read between the lines.
Hit me up.
I read between the lines, Mo.
Hit some triceps.
That's the only thing I can compete on. Like that's. and it only callus.
No, you could do shoulders, you could do biceps, you could do forearms.
Moses, look at you. Your traps are ridiculous right now. We're definitely putting up the before and after photo in this. Guys, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Well, that's the one thing I got to show you before we get the show ended. So we did photos. We did holiday photos with the family. Came out great.
Nice.
Julio Bravo, Memories by Bravo. Hit him
Yes,
up.
sir.
He's one of the best. We're gonna have him on the podcast one of these days. We go back to like middle school
Talk
with him.
camera gear, man.
Yeah, and talk camera gear. He could help us set this place really up.
Oh, yeah.
So we're getting everything together, and I was like, yo, I need to find something to wear. I was like, I could just wear all black. And Liam left this turtleneck here, and I was like, maybe I could just throw on this turtleneck. But mind you, like I've like put on some mass, like 30 pounds. So I throw on this turtleneck. You got to see how I look with this thing.
Don't feel too bad, guys. I got this turtleneck when I weighed 128 pounds. I'm 6 foot tall, by the way. I was skinny. Jesus.
Fill this.
Dude, you know what you look like? You look like The Rock right now.
Yeah. Oh,
All
yeah.
you need is a fanny pack and a couple chains, and you're done.
Yeah, man.
That's hilarious.
Fill this thing right out, dude.
Keep it. It looks good.
I was like, I gotta take some more Liam's sweaters.
I'm gonna get it the arms. It's gonna look like this one. It's just gonna be all stretched out,
all droopy. But
funny.
no, I want to start cutting soon, so I want to lose some weight and hopefully I'll be shredded. You know, it's fun. It's just honestly, it's my brother's been going to the gym a lot.
He looks ridiculous.
Yeah, he looks
man.
crazy.
He looks nuts.
He's been going the last couple years, and he's always talking about it. So it's fun to like. We don't go to the gym together, but it's fun to talk about the gym and like, you know, my brother is one of my best friends, and if you've met my brother, we're super different.
Very, yeah.
But we've always have like these. We're always into the same thing. We're always like getting into the same things together, and so it's a lot of fun to have this together. And some days he comes with me. Some days I'll go to. He does Planet Fitness. No judgment to Planet Fitness. You know.
It's funny, like some of the things that like I'm into that you're not, like cars, for instance.
Yeah.
Like we're super
yeah.
into cars. Like I could talk to Elijah forever about cars, and that's how it was just growing up. That's how I met Aaron.
Yep.
Crossman. It's like for God, I can't believe God, that was such a long time ago. We've known each other too long. We're getting old.
Way back.
But anyways, we said we were going to sign off like 10 years ago.
All right.
So,
well, thank you everybody for watching last year. It's been so much fun, and you know, hopefully you keep watching this year. Hopefully we get some more people watching.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
and if you
tell
really
your
like it,
friends.
share us. You know,
Yeah.
share our videos. Show your friends. You know, tell
make
us
sure
what we're
to
doing.
like, comment down. What do you want to see in the next year? What do you guys want to see? What would you like to see us do? What would you like to see us change? Yeah, I'd like to hear your feedback.
All right, sounds good. Peace.
See ya. Love you, dude.
Love you too.